Hey friends, welcome to another video and welcome to my new subscribers from TikTok. Very excited to have you guys here. So as promised in my last video, I'm going to teach you guys how to do a fan stitch. Not only a fan stitch, but a large fan stitch. This stitch is fancy AF and I'm going to show you how to do it in multiple rows, except personally, my personal opinion, don't, take this as the be all and end all. I'd be more inclined to be using this as a border for a blanket or something like that, rather than a blanket in its own right. Just because it's going to use a lot of yarn and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, so as with our last video, I started off by already making our little chain, and today I filled them with single crochet stitches, because if you've been watching, you know that I don't like to start a fancy stitch directly from the chain. I actually like to start it after a row of singles, half doubles, doubles, whatever it is, whatever you decide. It just makes it look a lot neater in my opinion. Today we're using Twister Solid from Hobby. It's in that beautiful pink that I love. So let's get started. It's going to be a fun one. I haven't done this stitch in a little while, so please forgive me if I'm constantly stopping and starting this video so I can get my bearings straight. Okay, so when you're talking about a large fan stitch, it's, like I said, super fancy, super duper fancy. Even if you do it as a border, you probably want to do it as 2 rows, just so that people can see how darn elaborate the thing is. Okay, so for each fan that you want to do, you want to start your chain with a row of 10 and then add 2 at the end. So you can see that I've done a little one here. So this is literally a row of 20 plus 2. So I've got 22, okay? So what we do is, I've done a single crochet all the way along, which you don't have to do. But what we want to do is do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So if you're counting out with me, you're doing a row of singles first, you'll have 21 stitches here, okay? 21. Or however many you need to. But this is just a good idea, just so that you can get an idea of the stitch, because things like this that are reasonably complex, you'll probably want to do a couple of practice swatches before you get right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is I'm flicking my little towel down there. Okay, so I'm gonna chain 1, which counts as a nothing, and then I'm gonna do a single crochet in the top of our first single crochet on the stitch there. So we've just done our single slip stitch. Oh my gosh, I'm crocheting so tightly lately. Let's push him through. Power, yes, I'm the strongest man alive. Okay, so just for people who might not be in the know, sometimes we'll start a row with a chain, so a chain of 1, 2, 3, however many you need, and it's up to you whether or not that'll count as a stitch. It just allows the pattern to be worked a little bit easier. If you watch my virus shawl tutorials, you know that I was using my chains as a stitch, because I don't care, the virus pattern is super fancy. Okay, so now what we need to do is skip 4. Yes, you heard me, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this baby here, we need to do 11 trebles. Okay, so you have seen my video on the triple crochet. If you have not seen my video on the triple crochet, please pop back and check it out. I do an overview of singles and doubles in that one, but this baby is all triples. So just a quick reminder, triple crochet, we want 1, 2, 3 loops on the hook, okay? And so we're counting down 1, 2, 3, 4, and into our 5th one, we do our triple crochet. So we put our yarn through, then yarn over, pull through, then we yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3. Now let's do that 10 more times. 1, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, there you go, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lucky number 11. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got 11 stitches there. Oh my gosh. I just want to quickly point out another reason for doing a row of single crochets along the border instead of just jumping straight into doing this along the chain is that you can actually see the stitches so much easier. Some other tutorials that you may see in regards to this big fan stitch will just straight out start doing the fan into the chain. And they're like, okay, so you've got to mark this stitch, mark this stitch, and mark this stitch, otherwise you'll lose them. So this makes it a lot easier for us. All right, so now we skip 4. So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th, we anchor him down with a single crochet. Oh my god, it's so fancy and I love it. Okay. now we skip 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th, which is right here. We're gonna do 11 trebles. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 3, yep, there we go, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lucky 11. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the 5th in the 5th one, which we will have counted up perfectly, we will do anchor him down with a slip stitch. Okay, so I know this isn't like a massive row, but I just wanted you guys to see like how it works. So let me move that over a little bit so I can zoom in. See, so like I said, it eats a lot of yarn and it's a bit intricate. So this is why my preference would be to leave it for a border, which, I mean, look at that. What a beautiful border. But that's just my personal choice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make your second row. So your second row, it's not like the shell stitch. So the second row that we do is kind of like we're building another foundation, so then we can do another row of these large fans. Okay, so we start off by doing a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do a treble crochet, and that's into that same big stitch right there. It's just to give it a nice little, a nice border, a nice side, if you will. All right, now we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so into the 6th stitch in our gigantic fan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which should be the apex. We anchor him down with a single crochet. Okay, so you can kind of see where this new layer is like being built up. Okay. All right, now we chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to look into our anchor down here. So I anchored single crochet. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a treble crochet 2 together. So it's normally on your patterns as like TR2 TOG, which just means that we are basically binding two triple crochets together, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you might have seen my TikToks on how to do an increase and a decrease. It's kind of like my decrease video, but I'm going to show you and I'm going to explain it. Okay, so into our anchor, we've got our treble crochet. So we go over, yarn over once, yarn over twice, and then we'll have 2 loops on the hook, and we leave it, and then we start our next triple crochet. So then we get yarn over once, twice, then we'll have 3 loops on the hook, and we put those babies together. Might be a little bit tight, so just, give it a little bit of a wiggle. There we go. So as our triple crochet 2 together, and it just makes for a really nice division in between the stitches. Anyway, so if you need to go back and practice this one a couple of times, please feel free. So it's a triple crochet. So let's all do it again together. Okay, so we work our triple crochet into our anchor stitch, and then we yarn over, pull through once, pull through twice. Okay, and then we leave 2 loops on the hook, and then we make to do another triple crochet. So we put an additional 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over once, twice. Yep, so yarn over once, twice. We'll have 3 loops on the hook. Then we want to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, then we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 6th stitch here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the apex right there, and that's kind of how we build it up. gosh. Sorry, I'm just hitting stuff all over the place. Please don't mind me. Okay, and then to finish it off, we do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and our beautiful treble 2 together. We're going to do another 2 of those right in the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There he is, the bottom stitch. We pop our yarn in. You know me, I crochet tightly, so you know I've got to have a bit of a squiz to try and find my stitches sometimes. Okay, and so that was our triple, but we don't finish him off, and then we yarn over 2 more. So we're making another triple, yarn over, and then you go through 1, 2, and then we go through all 3 stitches on that hook. Okay, so you can kind of see sort of how it's built up with those sort of double crochet 2 together on either end. Okay, so finally let's do one more row. Okay, so the next row, you'll remember from when we did our shell stitches that we sort of did one row where it was like just the regular shells, and then the next row we did a couple of half shells, a half shell to start and a half shell to finish, just so that it kind of has a variation. That's what we're going to do here. So we'll start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the same top of that stitch, we're going to do 5 triples. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, don't want to lose that last one. Oh my gosh, I have to redo that last one because I lost him. Ah, I did it again. How can I keep losing that stitch? Okay, and then see here we've already got this anchor. This is where we're going to anchor our baby with a single crochet. Okay, now let me pull out a bit of yarn. Got a small little tangle here, but that's okay. We don't mind about that. Okay, so now you see where we've made our fancy 2 trebles 2 together? This is where we're going to build our next fantastic fan. So remember that's 11 treble crochets right into that spot. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Did I do a double crochet in that one? Yeah, I feel like I did. Pay more attention, Cass. Jeez. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and then we don't even need to count our 4 because we anchor him right in that same anchor spot. Okay. Right. And then in the last triple crochet 2 together, we're going to do 6 trebles. So let's go. Got 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then 2 more. 5. Lucky last. 6. Oh. As long as we actually get it in there and don't just drop all of our thread. See, I've been crocheting for years and years and years, and this stuff still happens to me. All right, so there we go. I guess the middle one is going to sort of show you the fanciest part of how we do these. But then, yeah, so this is essentially how it works. And then to create our next base level, we'll chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do 2 trebles together. So remember, 1, 2, we don't finish them off, and then we do another treble, 1, 1, 2, and then we pull through all 3 on the hook. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where we anchor our baby, right there. Then we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we do our triple crochet 2 together. So we go through once, twice, and then we make our second treble, and then finish with all 3. And then we do a chain of 1, 2, 3, 4. We anchor him right at the top of our half fan. I'll just through 1 stitch, that'll be fine. There we go. Yeah, it's looking a little bit sort of squished together, but as we block our projects, that obviously ends up looking a lot nicer. So from here, then we start this row again. So, but this is where we anchor our first full fan. Then we anchor him here, and then we build another one. The center is there. So, very interesting stitch. Yes, it takes a little bit of fiddling with, but you know what? It's really pretty. So look at me holding this out. This is me pretending that I've blocked my work. People like to block their work. I very rarely block my work. Only if it needs to be blocked will I block it. So blocking is, just in case anyone wasn't sure, is the process of wetting your work, so not like completely soaking it, but making it damp, and then actually pinning it out into shape on a foam mat, just so that you get that perfect stitch definition. Anyway, so there we go, the fantastic, fabulous, large fan. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I would actually really love to see if someone makes a scarf out of this. I'm obsessed with scarves lately. I don't know why. It's like 31 degrees Celsius here. I'm not sure what that translates to in the rest of the world. I'm sorry. I mean, well, rest of the world, America. But yeah, it's quite warm here, but I'm a big fan of really thin scarves just used to drape around your neck as a little bit of decoration. So yeah, looking forward to seeing your results. If you have any questions, hit me up. If you have come over from TikTok, thank you so much for coming over. And I look at doing 2 uploads a day on Sundays. Which days? Sundays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And so it's at least 2 uploads a day on those days, unless I'm making something super long, like my virus tutorials that I made, which were each 45 minutes long apiece. So those are the days that my husband works. So those are the days that I can actually get the house to myself and have it quiet, because he always thinks even if he's listening to whatever he's listening to super quietly, I can still pick it up on the microphone. so those are my upload days. I'll upload on TikTok every day, probably half a dozen times a day, and I'll make sure I pop in a few more of our 60-second tutorials as well, because I thought that was really fun, just quickly showing the increase and the decrease. But yeah, and if you do have any questions about crochet, pop them onto the channel, pop them onto the TikTok. If it's something that I get asked like reasonably regularly, I'll make a little TikTok video about it just to show you guys what to do. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm looking forward to our next video together. Not sure what it'll be. It'll be a surprise. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.